What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from AnimeUproar, and I am back to talk about Paramecia fruits. If you enjoy seeing these One Piece videos on this channel and want to keep them coming, be sure to smash that like button to let me know. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or you will miss future One Piece videos. Keep in mind that this is part 2 of all Paramecia users and their powers explained. As you may know, there are a ton of Paramecia fruits, so I broke down this series into different parts. I said I would do part 2 after part 1 got 5,000 likes, and it did, so here I am with the next installment. Check out part 1, link in the description if you haven't already. As always, manga spoilers are fair game, you've been warned. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. First, let's look at the 25-year-old and eerily cute Ghost Princess Perona, one of Gecko Moria's Thriller Bark pirates. She ate the Horo Horo no Mi, aka the Hollow Hollow fruit. She can create ghosts that make people extremely pessimistic and negative if they pass through them. Usually strong-willed fighters will lose the will to fight, but naturally pessimistic people are unaffected. So someone like Usopp all of a sudden seems like Superman. She can also send out her own spirit that can fly, pass through things, and change size, while her physical body remains unmoved and unconscious. This spirit can also create hollows that can explode and physically hurt others by producing shockwaves. The bigger the hollow, the bigger the explosion and damage. Thus, her spirit can attack others while they can't attack her, unless they find her real body. Next, let's look at our resident skeleton rock star, the 90-year-old skeleton soul king Brooke. Brooke ate the Yomi Yomi no Mi, aka the Revive fruit. If you eat this fruit before you die, your soul can come back to your body after you're killed. This soul lets Brooke animate his skeleton body. Like Perona, Brooke can have his soul exit his body in this state. He can move through walls and survey his surroundings. The power of his soul allows him to use the chill of death with his sword. In this way, Brooke can enhance his attacks and freeze his surroundings. Because of his soul powers, he is super effective against the homies that Big Mom creates. Unlike a zombie, Brooke can feel pain, but his skeleton body does come with certain advantages, like being resistant to heat, cold, lightning, and poisonous gas. Next, we have the former warlord and former Kaido rival, the 50-year-old Gecko Moria, captain of the Thriller Bark pirates. His bounty is a solid 320 million berries. He ate the Kage Kage no Mi, aka the Shadow fruit. His powers let him steal shadows and create zombies with those shadows. If someone has their shadow stolen and they come into contact with direct sunlight, it's game over. They'll disappear and their shadow will disappear as well. Moria's own shadow is called Doppelman, and Moria can use it to fight. In fact, it's strong, it can change shape, and it cannot be destroyed. Moria can even switch places with his shadow when he wishes to. Lastly, Moria can absorb many shadows at once in order to increase his own strength and size. And if you can't get enough of this less attractive Batman, then you can check out my video on all of the warlords where I break down Moria and his powers in further detail. Next, we have another former warlord, the 47-year-old Bartholomew Kuma. He's the tragic Terminator of the series. He used to be human and a revolutionary, but after his OP cyborg modifications, he seemingly became a mindless slave of the world government. He ate the Nikyu Nikyu no Mi, aka the Paw Paw fruit. Kuma's open hands, which have paw pads on them, can push and deflect pretty much anything. He can push the air and use it as a powerful attack. The attack will move fast, at light speed to be specific, and even leave paw prints in stone. It's even more powerful than a cannon. These paw pads can also deflect powerful attacks, including powerful sword slashes. Kuma can compress a bubble of air pressure and create a massive explosion, or he can even push the pain and suffering out of someone. The Terminator Warlord did this with Luffy's pain, and Zoro took the impact of it head on in order to save his captain. You might have heard of that epic moment where nothing happened. Furthermore, he can use his power to push people to faraway lands, and in effect this power is like teleportation. Next up we have Jewelry Bonnie, a worst generation pirate who eats like Luffy and has a bounty of 140 million berries. She looks 24, but we can't be absolutely sure of her age because her fruit lets her manipulate her age as well as the ages of others. Her Paramecia fruit hasn't been named yet. The power comes in handy when she wants to disguise herself and escape attention, but it can also be used in combat. By turning her opponent into a baby or a really elderly person, she can prevent them from being able to fight back effectively. and it's notable that she is the only female member of the Worst Generation. Next we have another member of the Worst Generation, Luffy's bad boy character foil, Eustace Kid, aka Captain Kidd. The 23-year-old currently has a bounty of 470 million berries. He's had beef with 3 Yonko crews, including the Red Hair Pirates, Big Mom Pirates, and Beast Pirates. Yet he keeps coming back for more, and now he's even going to be working with Luffy to help attack 2 Yonko. You gotta respect this dude's resolve. He doesn't care if it costs him an arm and a leg. As with Bonnie's, his Paramecia fruit is unnamed. His fruit seems to revolve around magnetism. He can repel metal objects away from himself, and he can also attract metallic objects and use them to form shapes, like that of a giant metal arm for instance. He can deflect cannonballs and attract surrounding scrap metal and or people's usually metallic weapons. Depending on how much scrap metal is available, he could potentially grow his metal arm so that it is big enough to karate chop a big ship. Obviously, if there are less metallic things around, he'll have less material to work with. I look forward to seeing the other creative ways in which he'll use his Paramecia power in the future. Next, we have the very cool Dr. Captain Trafalgar D. Water Law. He's 26 years old and he has a bounty of 500 million berries. He's also much more of a strategist than the much more straightforward Luffy and Kid. He ate the Ope Ope no Mi, aka the Op Op fruit. We might also call it the OPOP fruit since it is definitely overpowered. Law can create a room around him and pretty much control everything in that room. The Matrix-like room has gotten bigger in scope since the time skip, and Law can do stuff in this room that completely ignores the natural laws of the world. He can split people's bodies apart and control the different parts. He can attach their heads to barrels or change places between 2 different objects within his room. Law can take people's hearts or use his powers to operate on people. He can practically extract anything from a body, including lead, which is how he healed himself from Amber Lead Syndrome. He can switch souls, Freaky Friday style, and even potentially give someone immortality, but it would cost him his life. Because of this latter ability, the Ope Ope no Mi has been called the ultimate fruit. If you want a more detailed breakdown of Law or any other member of the Worst Generation, you can check out my All Supernovas and Their Powers Explained video, which I'll also link in the description. Next we have the godfather of One Piece, Capone Gang Beige, a Mafia Don pirate. He's 42 years old and his bounty is 350 million berries. He ate the Shiro Shiro no Mi, aka the Castle fruit. As the name suggests, the user pretty much turns themselves into a living castle. Capone has his friends chilling inside him, where they're ready to strike if he needs them. He can open drawbridges from his body, and his people can launch tiny cannonballs at his opponents. Of course, when they get a certain distance away from Capone's body, they'll return to regular size, delivering maximum damage. You could also have secret dinner parties inside the dude's body, and he can manifest inside himself too, while his real body remains inactive on the outside. If all that wasn't cool enough, his body can grow into a giant castle mecha with impressive offensive and defensive capabilities. This power is like my childhood dream, having the ultimate secret fort that you can bring with you wherever you go and being able to turn into a mecha. Next we have Rouge, the 47-year-old with the 108 million berry bounty. He's called the Mad Monk and he's a pirate from Sky Island, interestingly enough. His pirate crew has a cool name, the Fallen Monk Pirates. His Paramecia fruit is unnamed, but it appears to let him convert the damage he receives into strength, kind of like Meliodas' Revenge counter. It's not a super original power, but it can be useful. The stronger your opponent beats you up, the stronger you'll become. Urouge's body and muscles can grow until he's bigger than a pacifista. Even though pacifistas are tougher than steel, Urouge's enhanced punches are effective against it, which is definitely impressive. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this guy's a wild card and I really look forward to seeing more of him. Even though his bounty was set to be the lowest of all Worst Generation pirates, he was strong enough to beat Sweet Commander Charlotte Snack, who had a bounty of 600 million berries, so don't sleep on my boy Rouge. Next up we have the creepy-faced Basil Hawkins, with his triangle tattoos for eyebrows. He is 31 years old and his bounty is 320 million berries. Hawkins ate the Wara Wara no Mi, aka the Straw fruit. Despite this, he is not a straw hat, but the captain of the Hawkins Pirates. His fruit lets him create and control straw. He can create an army of scarecrows that can shoot nails at enemies. He can also use straw voodoo to make sure that his subordinates take any damage he would have taken from enemy attacks. Hawkins can also surround himself in straw armor or create a large and powerful scarecrow, which he used to chase Zoro and Luffy. Hawkins combines his straw powers with magic tarot cards in battle, which can seemingly help him or hinder him. For instance, one card may make his men attack each other, while another may increase the strength of his straw-based technique. Next, we have Scratchman Apu, the resident DJ of the Beast Pirates. He's 31 years old and has a bounty of 350 million berries. His Paramecia fruit powers are music-based. He can turn his body parts into different musical instruments and create music that will physically damage his opponents. He can rap, and his teeth can even turn into piano keys. His music seems to be pretty entrancing, and while the opponent is caught off guard, Apu can create sounds that cut people or even cause explosions. Definitely an MC to be reckoned with. Next, we have a former warlord and a best girl candidate, Boa Hancock. The 31-year-old sexy snake empress has a bounty of 80 million berries. She ate the Mero Mero no Mi, aka the Love fruit. Her powers revolve around love, as the fruit's name suggests, and lust. Boa can turn those who love her or lust after her into stone, not a good opponent for our boy Sanji. After her victims are transformed into stone statues, she can end their whole career by simply breaking them with a strike. Interestingly enough though, in the absence of love or lust, Boa can still use physical contact to transform what she touches into stone. These powers work on pacifistas too, it is just the area she touches that turns to stone, not the whole person or object. Boa's skill in combat and her powerful kicks make it possible for her to destroy the parts of people or things that she turns into stone. She's a very impressive waifu who can flex on multiple pacifistas, but there are limits to her abilities. Even though Boa is extremely beautiful, some people like Luffy don't feel lust, and so she cannot turn these people into stone without contact. Furthermore, people can use pain to redirect their focus from their lust, which can also help prevent them from becoming stone statues. And some people like Mihawk seem to be strong-willed enough to be unaffected by Boa's charms. Blind characters are also unaffected because they can't see Boa's extraordinary physical beauty. Next, we have the 47-year-old former chief warden of Impel Down, Magellan. Magellan ate the Doku Doku no Mi, aka the Venom fruit. Magellan is a poison human who can create and control poison and is himself immune to poison. This dude can release poison in the form of a gas or in the form of a liquid. He can even surround his body with poison so that anyone who touches him will be poisoned. He can even create a hydra made of poison, which is pretty cool. If a victim somehow manages to survive severe poisoning like Luffy did, they can develop antibodies that will combat poison and venom in the future. Next up, we have the 53-year-old Emporio Ivankov, a commander of the Revolutionary Army. Ivankov ate the Horu Horu no Mi, aka the Horm fruit, and became a hormone-controlling human. As Ivankov explains it, he can freely manipulate gender, body temperature, pigmentation, growth, excitement, and more. Ivankov describes himself as an engineer of the human body who can alter people from the inside. It is Ivankov who helped save Luffy from severe poisoning by stimulating Luffy's natural immunity factors to abnormal levels. Ivankov can use his powers to help himself in difficult situations or to help or harm others. By changing them on a genetic level, Ivankov can pretty much give people superhuman abilities. Next, we have Inazuma, the 29-year-old revolutionary who serves under Ivankov. Inazuma ate the Choki Choki no Mi, aka the Snip Snip fruit, which lets the user turn parts of their bodies into scissors. It's pretty straightforward. Inazuma can pretty much cut anything solid and then manipulate it like it's paper, and that even goes for ground itself. Inazuma seems like the natural enemy of Doflamingo's strings. However, as always, Sea Stone is a different story, and Inazuma should not be able to cut through that. Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend who blocked an air slash from Mihawk himself, Diamond Jozu. The 42-year-old was the third commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. He ate the Kira Kira no Mi, aka the Sparkle fruit. This fruit lets Jozu turn his body into diamond, making his defensive capabilities probably one of the best in One Piece. Mihawk has no problem cutting through steel, but diamond, referred to as the hardest known material in our own world, is another story. Not only does Jozu block what's considered to be the strongest slash in the world, he shows no sign of damage after he does. Very cool, Diamond Jozu, very cool. Blamenko is also with the Whitebeard Pirates. He's the commander of the 6th Division. His Devil Fruit power is unnamed, but it lets him pull things from pockets on his chin. Like with Beige, the power allows Flamenco to pull out things from his body that should not be able to fit, kind of like another dimension for storage. He's been seen pulling a super giant mallet from his chin and using it to flex on marines. He has the kind of strength Usopp pretends to have with his fake mallets. Next, let's look at Great Staff Officer Toru, the 76-year-old Marine Vice Admiral. She ate the Woshu Woshu no Mi, aka the Wash Wash fruit. Oda has explained her power and it's quite amusing. She can wash people and hang them out to dry as if they were laundry. Opponents seem to lose the will to fight or are unable to fight after this happens. Oda mentioned that when Toru uses this power, it actually makes the opponent's hearts cleaner. In other words, the power makes them less evil, not necessarily something that pirates want to go through. Next we have Shiki the Golden Lion, another former member of the Rocks Pirates along with Whitebeard, Kaido, and Big Mom. He is the first known prisoner to ever escape Impel Down. I usually don't include movie stuff that's not in the manga in these videos, but Shiki is canon, so I'll talk about the powers he used in the 10th One Piece movie, Strong World. He ate the Fua Fua no Mi, aka the Float Float fruit. This power lets the user make non-living things that he touches levitate. He can use it on himself too, but not on other living things. It is one of the most OP and versatile fruits we've seen. Shiki can use it to fly, or he can drop unimaginably heavy things on his opponents. He can control the objects he levitates like telepathy. He can lift many things including water in order to drown his opponents or even islands. Shiki is clearly a crazy looking mad lad that you don't want to mess with. Next, let's look at Charlotte Katakuri. He's 48 years old and he's a sweet commander with an impressive bounty of 1 billion berries. He ate the Mochi Mochi no Mi, aka the Mochi Mochi fruit. The translation is pretty straightforward in this case. It's considered to be a special Paramecia fruit and has a lot in common with Logia fruits. It allows the user to transform into mochi, not just to create and control it. Mochi is pretty much a Japanese rice cake, so the power goes with the dessert/snack theme of the Big Mom Pirates. The material is sticky and can easily change shape so that it's perfect for trapping people, but enough moisture will make it possible to escape. As with a Logia user, you need to use Haki if you want to injure Katakuri. Katakuri's fruit is also awakened, and this allows him to turn surrounding inorganic material into mochi too. Katakuri and his fruit are so strong that some fans continue to debate whether or not Luffy beating him was believable. Now let's talk about the strongest Paramecia fruit that was held by the strongest man in the world, the Gura Gura no Mi, aka the Tremor fruit. It was held by the 72-year-old Whitebeard before he died. Whitebeard had a bounty over 5 billion at the time, the highest known bounty of any living character then. The hype for the Gura Gura no Mi is off the charts. It's been called the fruit that can destroy the world, and it has a reputation for being invincible. Obviously, Whitebeard was eventually defeated, but to be fair, that was a combination of old age, illness, backstabbing, and strong opponent after strong opponent. The power revolves around vibrations that can travel through the land, air, or water. These vibrations are strong enough to create earthquakes, cause tsunamis, or split the ground in half. One thing you gotta keep in mind when using this power is that the shockwaves can be unpredictable, and so you can injure your own guys. But for one guy surrounded by many enemies, this is probably the best fruit for him to go ham and flex on everybody. Blackbeard stole it from Whitebeard, and now he can use these powers along with the dark fruit powers. This makes Blackbeard deadlier than ever, and I seriously can't wait to see what he'll do next in the series. He's had over 2 years to get used to this new power, so you can bet that he can use it more skillfully now compared to when he was at Marineford. And that is it for all Paramecia users and their powers explained part 2. If you enjoyed this video, the best thing you can do is smash that like button and share this video. If we can get 6,000 likes on this one, 6,000, I will get started on part 3 ASAP. I'm thinking that I'd be able to finish all canon fruits in 4 parts, and then maybe do a non-canon special. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, hit that notification bell or you will miss future One Piece videos. And while you wait for part 3, I recommend you check out my One Piece playlist where you can find hours upon hours of One Piece content just like this. Lastly, the YouTube ad rates have significantly dropped recently, so the help and support we're getting from our AnimeUproar patrons is now more important than ever. A very special thank you goes out to our patrons over on Patreon who help us survive these YouTube issues and who help make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the legend acknowledged by Lord Twigo himself, Efren A, and the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans, Steven Ingrata, Alola Anatem, The World, Steelers, Acquire Respect, Pate Hefa, Jonathan King, Desi D, Brandon Aviles, Papa Smurf, The School Bus, Emperor Otaku, and Richie Martinez. And our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, iSparky65, Cricket XP, Ted No Ted, Joe Stanton, Barry Gucci, Alicia Actor, Animal69, Jessica Kayla Fon, Hinokami and Water, Bonnie Park, Zodiar12, Rathuin, Deora, Tien Huang, Mitch Loves Anime, Cynical, Kraken, and JCC Waka. Thank you all so much. If you enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/AnimeUproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord, where we talk about anime life and, of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/AnimeUproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can also now join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys.